Thunderbolts is a crazy reminder that we need the Fantastic Four, the people who have had two failed movie universes, to come save Marvel. Oh my goodness. Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ and we are diving into a new movie review. Yes, Marvel Studios has another movie coming out this year, right before Fantastic Four and before they head into the Doomsday era. We are going to be talking about Thunderbolts. Asterisk. Boys, the feeling is back. You guys feel it? The feeling is back. The feeling is Marvel movies are starting to really feel like streaming service movies that we're releasing in the cinema. I don't normally think made for TV or streaming is an insult. It's most of the time, I like a good streaming movie. I reviewed a couple of them nicely on this channel so far this year. But wow, when I'm going into a Marvel movie, when I'm going into a big blockbuster, I expect more. I don't know what it is about Thunderbolts. I don't know if it is the lackluster acting, maybe the editing and pacing are a bit off, or just something about it just feels so small scale, but I'm just not being able to be wowed by these movies like, I don't know, like I used to a couple years ago, especially 2019. It felt like Marvel was really hitting that stride, and post-pandemic, there's been a couple good things. I'm one of the rare people who liked Eternals. I thought Shang-Chi was cool. There's a couple ones that worked, like the TV stuff. WandaVision, come on, Agatha All Along, these are really fun shows. But some of these movies have just felt like, oh, that's it? Or that could have been an email. This truly is one of those movies that I'm like, I could have just read the Wikipedia page. I'm not missing anything. I'm not gaining anything from this movie. And I don't know if that's just the state of a Marvelness. We'll talk about my own personal superhero fatigue in a moment. But what are we doing? Like, I just feel like I want these movies to grab me. And we just had a movie released like 2 weeks ago, Sinners, that felt like a cinematic event. Nothing about Thunderbolts feels like that. Do I think every movie needs to have this big bombastic vibe? But if we're going to tell people to go out to the cinemas, I want to give them a reason to go. I don't think Thunderbolts is that reason. I was also talking to a critic right before the movie, and I felt like maybe some of these Disney Plus era hasn't really helped a lot of these characters. We had Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was an okay show. Okay, I will definitely say is kind of a stretch of that word, but it was an okay show. But we had so much character development with Bucky and Sam Wilson on a television show that not a lot of people watch. Truly, go look at those Nielsen ratings for the Marvel shows. Daredevil, where were you on the charts? Where were you? You know what I mean? Like, these shows aren't having that big of an impact. So when we have moments like that where like Bucky's he's this big character now and he's kind of grown a lot, and he did that off screen and also in a TV show. What are we doing? I'm not being able to connect to his character. A lot of these characters like Yelena and Red Guardian, I'm like, oh, the people from that Black Widow movie that no one really liked, that Yelena has popped up on maybe Hawkeye, I believe. Just like, what are we doing? Why these characters? And I know that this has worked for DC with the Suicide Squad, but I'm not doing it for the Unalive Gang here. It's not working for me. And I know they've also done it with Guardians of the Galaxy, but there was something, again, that felt big and bold about that movie. Nothing about this movie is big and bold. It just feels so small scale, so lackluster. It's lacking. There's a couple good set pieces throughout the movie. There's like one or two that I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I like this kind of meetup where we find all of our soon-to-be named Thunderbolts are kind of meeting up with each other. It's sent there to kind of kill each other. And it's a really cool fight scene where each one of them is getting to show off what they do. And then you're kind of waiting for another scene like that. And then you're waiting. And then you're waiting, and then Marvel hits you with a profound statement of, hey, depression's kind of hard, you guys. And I'm like, is that what I sat for 2 hours for? The Thunderbolts, or as I affectionately want to call them, the Unalive Gang, because my goodness, this feels so Suicide Squad coded, so Suicide Squad, but my goodness, that movie was at least fun, stupid, and loud, and I mean both the David Ayer and the James Gunn versions. Those felt big, crazy, wild ideas being presented. But even with someone like Sentry, our main-ish villain here, then we also have Valentina. Oh my god, I like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, but like, she is not giving me big Marvel villain energy. She is just truly like the worst version of a Nick Fury would have got. Maybe like a bad season of Veep. That's what I'm getting from her. Anyways, like all these Thunderbolt characters, I'm like, oh, cool, we're meeting them, here's the action, here's all this, but I'm like, why Sentry? Why this? What is the point? There is just nothing here that I felt was substantial. And then they try to hit you with an end credits that make these people feel more important, and I'm like, these people? We're hitching that wagon onto these characters? Really? really? So then when this movie doesn't do well at the box office, no one sees this post-credits scene, and then it's like, oh, yeah, that happened with Thor Love and Thunder. Y'all remember that one Hercules one? We ain't going back to that. Remember that one weird one in Eternals with Harry Styles? What are we doing? What was the one in the Marvels with Haley Steinfeld showing up or whatever? Like, what are we doing with these end credit scenes that are supposed to be building towards something? And I know it's kind of a staple in Marvel, but what are we building towards? And why are we choosing these characters to build towards it? I know it's just like next in line or whatever, like the timeline of the schedules and all that, but I'm like, that's what we're doing? So again, these characters just don't feel important. And I don't mean that shadily, because I like Florence Pugh. David Harbour's cool. I thought Wyatt Russell was better in this than I expected him to be, but like none of these characters are interesting, are worth a movie. And I know that sounds so shady, and I know hardcore Marvel people are going to be like, how dare you say that about Ghost or Taskmaster or I don't know, what, U.S. Agent, is that his name? Yeah, these characters I'm so in love with. I'm like, nobody's in love with these characters. Nobody wants to follow these people. We're doing a team-up movie of a bunch of people no one really cares about. That's how I felt a little bit about the Marvels, where I'm like, cool, Brie Larson, like all these actresses are really cool, but like no one really cares about these characters. So throwing three people no one really cares about together isn't going to work. But sure, the Marvel machine is going to say this is they're back. We're so back. This is exactly the Marvel we wanted. This is the Marvel we wanted. This is back. If this is back, maybe it's time for me to take that long-awaited superhero break. Are we dealing with superhero fatigue? Personally, am I dealing with it? A little bit, but mostly I'm just bored. This reiterates this feeling of this doesn't feel grand. This doesn't feel bigger, larger than life. And it doesn't have to be an Avengers level movie each time. I thought Shang-Chi was a great example of not having to tell this world-ending story, not having to have all of New York go into shadows, but also being able to let me introduce this character. It feels important within his world. These characters are so attached to other characters, so you definitely need to have your Marvel history brought up to it, but they're also not these kind of main characters. They're like C to D tiered characters, and you're like, oh, okay, so I'm bored by these people. Again, I would like to see characters that are interesting. I'm somewhat looking forward to the Fantastic Four because I find them to be interesting characters, and these are main players when we look at what Marvel should be. But Black Widow 2.0, fake Captain America, the Taskmaster y'all called woke, like these are the people I'm hitching my bandwagon to. These are the people that you want me to be invested to. It's hard for me, and I think that's the problem with a lot of these Marvel movies is unless I feel like I'm getting a major piece to the puzzle, and I'm sure that Brave New World and Thunderbolts, especially when they try to like attach it forcefully to other things, I'm sure they're going to build towards something, but I need to live in the moment. So if you're using these movies to build towards the future, I'm not having fun in that moment. Maybe I'm like, oh cool, that reference that we saw in a movie that I didn't really like 2 years ago, yay, that was paid off. Like, is that what we're gonna do? I'm bored by this, and I'm just bored by all superhero stuff. I'm hoping Superman has a feeling, because I'm a DC person, so I'm hoping that it does restore that feeling. It does be like, oh, cool, like, it's a smaller scale movie, but it feels bigger than life. That's what I wanted from this. But, like, once we get the full crazy villainous of it, I'm like, oh, it's even smaller scale. It's almost like we just brought this movie thing, and then, again, they try to do this whole, like, depression is hard, and it's really tough on us. And I'm like, I'm so glad Marvel is trying to have profound thoughts 13, 14, 20 years up into this piece, but, like, okay, sure, we've had grieving is bad in like the, post Tony Stark and in the Black Panther movie. Grieving is bad, hard, but now depression is hard too. It's like these very like minimal statements that just don't feel as hard hitting as it maybe is for other people. So then again, I'm not getting anything emotionally from this movie. I'm not getting anything comic book related from this movie, and it just doesn't feel like it's really building towards the MCU in a proper way. So then what am I here for? Why? Maybe I should just skip these movies until it is a big Avengers level movie, because then I would feel fulfilled, but I'm not feeling that now, and I'm just a bit upset by that. Another Marvel movie has came and went. My review probably doesn't matter. If you're a hardcore MCU fan, you ain't going to listen to someone who's not, like, glowingly praise it. And if you don't like these movies, I'm just repeating everything you knew. So I just feel like, what is the reason? Why am I here? What are we doing? What are we doing with us two right now? You watching me talking. Was this interesting? I had an okay time talking about Thunderbolts because it was interesting to get my feelings out, but I had more fun talking about it now in a review than I had watching it. Take that as you will. My goodness, this is my review for Thunderbolts *, because boy, they're going to get a new name eventually. Anyways, alright guys, what did you think of my review? What do you guys think of Thunderbolts? If you've had a chance to see it yet, did you like it? Do you feel like it's bigger than I was making it out to be, or do you feel it is a bit too TV feeling? What are your thoughts? Share them down below. Give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up. All of those stuff really do matter, and make sure you guys comment down below. I want to know your feelings on Thunderbolts right down there.